murder, forms a 10-member national task force to study issues related to safety of medical professionals. Massive protests against the sexual abuse of 2 kindergarten students in Maharashtra's Badlapur. Protesters block trains even as government suspends 3 cops and forms a SID probe. Landslide hits NHPC power station in Sikkim. The hydroelectric project on Teesta is damaged. Kerala government seriously considering acting on the suggestion of the Justice Hema panel, says CM Vijayan. A draft cinema law is also in works. India should extradite Sheikh Hasina, says the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. The party's Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir says Hasina should stand trial in his country. Biden passes the baton to Kamala Harris at the DNC in Chicago, says she will be a historic president. Prime Minister Modi and Malaysia's Anwar Ibrahim holds talks in Delhi. The 2 countries elevate ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership and expand cooperation in key sectors. Welcome back. The centre took a U-turn on the lateral entry decision just days after UPSC published an ad for lateral recruitment of individuals to senior positions within the union government. The opposition had attacked the lateral entry system. Even BJP allies were against it. On Tuesday, the government suddenly directed the UPSC to cancel ad for a lateral entry into bureaucracy. It happened on the advice of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Union Minister Jitendra Singh, in a letter to the UPSC chief, stated that Prime Minister Narendra Modi believes that the move should be aligned with social justice. On Monday, Rahul Gandhi criticized the UPSC's lateral entry initiative as an attack on Dalits, OBCs and Adivasis, accusing Prime Minister of bypassing the constitution by favouring RSS recruitment over the UPSC. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition, said that the lateral entry is an attack on Dalits, OBCs and Adivasis. And BJP's distorted version of Ram Rajya seeks to destroy the constitution and snatch reservations from Bahujan. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and other opposition leaders echoed this sentiment, arguing that the move undermines reservations and targets marginalized communities. What is important to note is that the lateral entry system is not new, but Manmohan Singh, yes, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, was inducted into the government of India as part of the lateral entry process. Many other people were also inducted as part of lateral entry process. Even Montek Singh Ahluwalia was a lateral entrant. But the U-turn is based on electoral reasoning. BJP lost a sizable chunk of Dalit votes in Lok Sabha because of the constitution narrative. In his letter to the UPSC, Union Minister Jitendra Singh reiterated that the reservation in public employment is a cornerstone of country's social justice framework designed to address historical injustices and promote inclusivity. BJP stated that the rollback was done as the government is committed to aligning with the Constitution's principle of equity and justice.
आज माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर के संविधान के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता को एक बार फिर बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय के साथ बताया है, दिखाया है। यूपीएससी में लैटरल एंट्री एक बहुत ही ट्रांसपेरेंट मेथड जो लिया था, उसमें रिजर्वेशन के प्रिंसिपल्स लगे, ऐसा निर्णय लिया है। आपने देखा प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमेशा सामाजिक न्याय के प्रति अपनी प्रतिबद्धता दिखाई है। ओबीसी कमीशन जो कि एक बहुत ही साधारण सी बॉडी थी, उसको एक संवैधानिक दर्जा दिया। नीट में, मेडिकल एडमिशन्स में, सैनिक स्कूल्स में, नवोदय विद्यालय में, सब में रिजर्वेशन के प्रिंसिपल्स को लगाया। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर जी के जो 5 तीर्थ हैं उनको उनका गौरवमयी स्थान दिलाया।
Congress, on the other hand, said that the decision is a victory of the constitution and the government was forced to go on back foot by opposition as the decision was anti-reservation.
The Prime Minister has functioned in a unilateral manner for 10 years. And now he has come to face with the reality. He can no longer function unilaterally. 45 positions were advertised. Not one, not two. I can understand 1 or 2 advisors being recruited, one person here, one person there. But 45 at one go. And these are not advisory positions. These are joint secretaries, directors, deputy secretaries, secretariat positions, for which provisions of the Constitution of India apply. So this was the first step. This was the opening of the door to the ending of reservations. This was to introduce an Agnivir in civilian bureaucracy. You've played with the nation's security by introducing Agnivir in the armed forces. You are now trying to play with the civilian bureaucracy. And this is only first step. In one go you have done 45. Next step you would have done 200. Then you would do 2000. Then what would happen to the Constitution of India? What would happen to the idea of social justice and affirmative action for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and OBCs? So that is why Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, other political leaders of India parties said that this is an assault on the Constitution, this is the privatization of the IAS and the civilian bureaucracy, and we demanded a rollback. And within 2 days, till yesterday, the blame was Ashwini Vaishnav and other ministers were blaming Dr. Manmohan Singh. Some people were saying, ye Nehru ki zamane se chala aa raha hai. So they were now trying to find excuses. But today, suddenly, they are forced. The rail mantri has been derailed by his own rhetoric. And today he has been forced to hail the non-biological Prime Minister as the champion of social justice. This is pure and simple hypocrisy.
This is the third order that the government has been forced to take back after it withdrew the indexation decision and the broadcast bill. The BJP government, when it had an absolute majority, never took a U-turn on a decision, with the farmers' bill being the exception. Let me introduce Ajit Ketha, senior journalist, and with me Brijesh Pandey in the studio. Let me straight away go to Ajit, and the question is, what explains Bharatiya Janata Party's nervousness?
The main reason obviously is because they don't have a majority, unlike 2019, unlike 2014. If you remember, the lateral entry had already begun in the past. In the very first term, Prime Minister Modi had announced this decision of lateral entry and 10 people had been taken in. But at that time, BJP had the majority in fact, they had more than a majority by itself in both 2014 and 2019. Today it doesn't. And the way the entire issue of reservation became the issue, the agenda in 2024 election, when backwards and largely Dalits on that issue of the fact that the attempt was the fear that the BJP might change the constitution if it gets 400 MPs, given that slogan of Ab ki baar 400 par. Therefore, I think they have become very, very careful. They are going to face election right now in Haryana, in Maharashtra, in Kashmir, in Jharkhand. So they do not want to take a chance anymore on this issue of reservation. So it's basically elections which has become the torch bearer in this case of changing this.
Isn't this ironic? Isn't this ironic, Ajit? Isn't this ironic? You know, there's also other side of the story, and you know, it's something which we need to really account for. If I look into the lateral entrance, you know, IG Patel, Dr. Manmohan Singh, V. Krishnamurthy, Montek Singh Ahluwalia, R.V. Shahi, these are the names. Bimal Jalan, Vijay Kelkar, Rakesh Mohan, who were there?
Absolutely. In fact, you've given a good list and quite other few, you know. In fact, I can name some more which is not in the list, and they were done. But remember, these were one off, two off at one point of time. It wasn't the policy as such, which anyway the BJP government had taken in the past. They had taken a lateral entry position. They had already hired 10 people. It wasn't a great success after they recruited it. But given the fact that the number of joint secretaries, for example, were not up to the mark, the numbers were less, and you cannot hire straight away. I mean, one answer could be, why don't you just hire more IAS, IPS, IFS officers? The problem is it will take time before they come to the joint secretary ranks. So given the fact that there is a shortage of joint secretaries, even then the issue, when they started for the first time, the lateral entry, let's say during the first term, at that time this issue had come up, and their answer was, we need these so-called specialized positions at the level of joint secretary, at the level of director. So therefore, they had gone ahead and done it. It wasn't a success, as I pointed out, but they were going to do it right now.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right. Congress doing this kind of change. In fact, if you remember, Congress did not protest when BJP had brought in lateral entry for the first time for the 10 positions during the first term.
But there is also one thing, you know, Ajit, there is also one thing. There is a change in the way BJP is functioning, Brijesh. Indexation, broadcasting. A party which couple of months back would not change anything, now quickly takes back decisions.
Well,
despite 240 seats.
It's very simple. It's numbers. You know, it's lack of absolute majority which is forcing BJP to do so many things which was unthinkable, say 5 months back, before June. You know, anybody would have thought or said that, you know, that the BJP or the Prime Minister would go back so quickly. You know, the broadcast bill was introduced, it was shelved, was given for public, public criticism and all. The fact of the matter is indexation met with a lot of criticism and then it was withdrawn. An option was added, and this particular, lateral entry bill. Let me be very clear about one thing, Karthike, that lateral entry is not that bad a name. You know, there is, with a country of our size and the kind of expertise which is outside the government, you know, you took name of Manmohan Singh, you took name of Montague, you took name of,
Krishnamurti,
Bimal Jalan. You know, these are great economists. These were people who changed the shape and contours of our economy and had that.
No, I'll repeat this for you. IG Patel, Manmohan Singh, V. Krishnamurti, Montague Singh Ahluwalia, R.V. Shahi, Vijay Kelkar, Rakesh Mohan.
Any attempt on part of any government to get specialists inside the government to provide with them with the technical know-how is not a bad suggestion at all. But this particular decision or this particular U-turn has now shown one thing which people are not realizing. This has shown a template on which the politics of India is going to revolve around for the next 5 years. This is not going to end right now. If you remember today, you know, Rahul Gandhi was in Amethi, was in Raebareli, where to talk about the killing of a Pasi boy and allegedly by an upper caste person. And it clearly shows that at the U-turn, it clearly shows that the Congress is now heavily invested in Bahujan politics. I would just like
to remind people, you know, this is less about merit, but this is more about the fact that BJP has lost a Dalit constituency, and it is for this reason Bharatiya Janata Party is nervous. If you look at the Congress regime, they too have gone over lateral entry as a way to absorb talents. Rajiv Gandhi appointed KPP Nambia, chairman of the Kerala Electronic Development Corporation, as an electronics secretary. Sam Pitroda joined to lead the Center for Development of Telematics. In 2002, Vajpayee government inducted R.V. Shahi for the private sector to push electricity reform powers. You know, I can just go on and say that these are the names which were there. And these are the names.
That is the reason why Karthik, I'm saying it's not a bad thing at all.
Fresh blood in the government. Pandit ji, Mantosh Sodhi joined, D.V. Kapoor joined, I can just go on. In fact, during Janta government and Minis, a railway engineer was made Secretary Defence Production. So this debate is not about the fact whether Congress party is attacking Bharatiya Janata Party on the issue of constitution or not. I think it's pure play politics, and on this, I think somehow Congress seemed to have got the upper hand.
Well, the Congress had the upper hand, because the narration which was there in the 2024 general election turned out to be this only and nothing else. And the only reason why the government of India backtracked is because elections galore around the corner. Election in Haryana is going to take place, election in Maharashtra, election in Jharkhand, election in Bihar, election in Delhi. Next 8 to 10 months are going to be full of elections only. And the government understands that if one more narration gains ground, that the government is doing away or trying to eat into the reservations which has been provided by constitution by getting these lateral entrants inside the bureaucracy, the government will have to pay a very heavy electoral price. All the tenure of a lateral entrant is 3 years, or max to max can be extended up to 5 years. There is no way he is going to impinge on the reservation which is given there.
Okay.
But the government is nervous.
Ajit, 1 minute to you, because I need to close the show. The issue is, I don't think Bharatiya Janata Party has done anything which may go against the interest of the Dalits and OBCs. No government does that. BJP has also not done anything like that. But why has this impression gained ground so much? Is it by just showing the book? I mean, there's something more than which we are not getting it right, or really missing the big picture.
Well, I think the main reason is the way the agenda during the Lok Sabha election 2024 was rolled out. The way Rahul Gandhi went and campaigned and the entire India bloc campaign on this whole issue of that the BJP is wanting 400 seats because they want to change the constitution, and mainly the focus was they will remove reservation. So as you rightly pointed out, the BJP lost the Dalit vote, even the most backward caste vote was affected. Of course, the minority votes were already against the BJP. So this combination, the minority vote, the most parts of the most backward caste vote and the Dalit vote, ended up moving in such a manner towards the India bloc, away from the BJP and NDA, that the BJP ended up losing massive number of seats in states like Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and all over. So that, I think, the BJP has become paranoid.
What we also miss, Karthikeya, is the fact that in the narration was held by no other than BJP itself. Pratap Simha, Diya Kumari, Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Lallu Singh, MP, former MP of Faizabad, all of these BJP MPs and all said that if we get reservation, if we get 400 par, then this time has come for us to relook at reservation. That further cemented the fear in the Dalit community that if these guys are going to get 400 seats, then the assertion by the BJP MPs will come to fruition.
I think I'm really falling short of time. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. But I think the bottom line here is that in this narrative war, for now, the Congress has an upper hand, and Congress has an upper hand for one simple reason, because somehow they have been able to prove that the lack of consultation means that somehow the constitution is going to be amended. I think the BJP has failed to give this message. When they talk about amending the constitution, it does not mean that they are taking away the rights of ST and SC, because constitution continues to be amended by any government in power. I leave you with the bites of the people who are involved in this narrative.
ये लेटरल एंट्री के बहाने ये लोग आरक्षण को समाप्त करना चाहते हैं और संविधान के खिलाफ ये लोग काम कर रहे हैं। हम लोग शुरू दिन से ही बोलते रहे हैं कि भाई ये लोग आरक्षण विरोधी हैं, SC ST विरोधी लोग हैं, और ये लोग किसी भी कीमत पे नहीं चाहते हैं कि SC ST समाज जो है सचिवालय में बैठे। ये लोग चाहते हैं कि शौचालय में बैठे भाजपा के लोग, नरेंद्र मोदी जी, इनकी सरकार, नीतीश कुमार जी हो, चिराग पासवान हो, जीतन राम मांझी हो, ये लोग सब लोग जो है टुकुर टुकुर देख रहे हैं। इनकी सरकार जो है इस तरह का काम किया जा रहा है। आपका सिविल सर्विसेज है, आयोग बना हुआ है, उसके ज़रिए UPSC है, सब चीज़ है, IAS IPS की बहाली का प्रक्रिया है, उसके थ्रू होता है, परीक्षा होती है, उसमें आरक्षण के प्रावधान दिए गए हैं, और ये लोग लेटरल के बहाने जो है आरक्षण को ही ख़त्म कर देना चाहते हैं। बताइए, बिना किसी परीक्षा के, बिना किसी आरक्षण के IAS और IPS भर्ती हो जाएंगे? यानी ये पूरा जो है संघ के लोगों को जो है भरने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है।
आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सोशल जस्टिस को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिया है कि जो पिछले 3-4 दिनों से एक लेटरल एंट्री का विषय चल रहा था, उसके लिए अभी हमारे जो पीएमओ में राज्य मंत्री हैं, डीओपीटी भी देखते हैं, डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी ने एक पत्र लिखा है यूपीएससी को कि जब तक रिजर्वेशन के पूरे प्रावधान नहीं हो जाते हैं तब तक आप इसको विड्रॉ करिए। ये दर्शाता है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी सोशल जस्टिस के लिए कमिटेड हैं। यद्यपि ये बात सही है कि लेटरल एंट्री कांग्रेस के जमाने से शुरू हुई और वो अव्यवस्थित एक व्यवस्था थी, जिसको मर्जी आए उसको बना देते थे, जिसमें बहुत से ऐसे उदाहरण हैं, डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी से लेकर के ऐसे बहुत से उदाहरण दिए जा सकते हैं। और उसको व्यवस्थित किया 2017 में, लेकिन रिजर्वेशन के बिंदु पे प्रधानमंत्री जी हमेशा गरीबों के साथ खड़े मिलते हैं। इस प्रकरण में भी जो वीकर सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी है, एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी के साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी खड़े नजर आ रहे हैं, ऐसा उन्होंने निर्णय लिया है। हम प्रधानमंत्री जी की बहुत भूरी प्रशंसा।
Big fan of Ian Bell, watching him very classy in all formats. I find Durban quite a